Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today I actually want to do a little bit of a different video here. I want to be covering an AI GPU altcoin in the AI, again, GPU DPin space because, I know we primarily cover crypto gaming on this channel, but I do know and believe strongly that AI and DPin are also going to be very, very hot narratives this bull market. So I think anyone who's putting together a portfolio but doesn't have exposure to these narratives maybe should consider projects within those narratives to have exposure to it. And again, I've made it very transparent that I am very much heavily into crypto gaming, Web3 gaming, because I have high conviction there, and it's what I've studied for multiple years now. If you've been around for the channel, you would know that. But again, I do want to bring some AI altcoins to your guys' attention because, again, for someone, if you are a fan of my channel, you might also be heavily into gaming, but you might also be in the same boat of having to want some exposure to AI, to DPin, to GPU, because, again, those narratives are going to be strong this cycle. I do believe that. So, if you guys are a fan of projects like this, of newer projects, of different narratives that we cover on this channel occasionally, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. Your support means everything. So today, I want to go over Blendr Network, which, if you guys are not familiar with what Blendr Network is, we'll go through their website, white paper, take a look at their Twitter to kind of reveal something that I had found on their Twitter, and then also, again, what they're really aiming to be here, because as I mentioned earlier, everyone feels strongly, I would say, that AI is going to be a hot narrative. It's already proven itself to be so earlier this year in 2024. We saw gaming run at the end of last year, then AI this year, especially with a lot of hype around, what NVIDIA is doing in, the Web 2 world. Obviously, NVIDIA is one of the biggest companies, so Blendr here, they do say, Blendr, the blueprint for tomorrow. Now, one thing you have to realize is that a lot of these AI, GPU, projects are doing similar things. A lot of them do either have their own GPU rigs that they're putting together to give out to people to build kind of a peer-to-peer network, or a lot of them are just making it so you can rent out GPU power. So again, that is something that a lot of projects are doing, like OPSEC, Node AI, and obviously Blendr, I believe. So if you take a look, they do say that they're part of the Intel, Microsoft, and NVIDIA developer programs, which, again, is a plus in my opinion. They say elevate your AI, rendering, and simulations with Blendr. So for AI, rendering, simulations, Blendr offers high performance computing SANS, centralized cost and scalability limits, optimized research usage, minimize expenses, and maintain uninterrupted productivity. So this is kind of some of the stuff that they offer, decentralized GPU compute mesh, BCM as well. So again, they say that their Blendr is effectively aggregating underutilized GPU resource across a global network. Again, what I believe is, and again, my main focus and expertise is in crypto gaming, but have been studying AI. So again, I've been very transparent about this, and I'm not as much so a quote unquote, not that I am an expert at gaming either, but I'm not so much an expert on AI. But I do research into some of these projects, and in our Discord we have a dedicated AI chat which you can join for free. It's linked below. So if we look here, they also have blockchain-enabled digital rights management, dynamic task assignment as well. Now, this is what they say is coming soon. Is going to be their Blendr Box X1, which is going to be, again, something that somebody can buy and have it at their house, which allows people to host a Blendr node at home, which is enhancing the decentralized GPU network and offering passive income opportunities, which I would imagine would come in the form of the Blendr token potentially. But I don't know if they break into that at this time. And they say it's compact, powerful. It's your gateway to advanced rendering and AI computing. So again, we can take a look here. Now, what's in the box? It says it's equipped with an RTX 4060, so pretty strong graphics card. Not really messing around here anymore. And then it says it has an M.2 SSD drive, so solid state. Thunderbolt 4 for speedy transfers. TPM 2.0. Compliant, ultra compact, 3.5 inch form factor for space and efficiency. So again, a lot of the techie stuff there, but the biggest thing is that the graphics card is a 4060, so it's worth mentioning as well. So yep, right here they do say join our GPU sharing network and earn Blendr tokens as well. And again, that's coming soon. It's not currently out yet, but they do say that Internet of GPU, so you can elevate your projects with our plug-and-play rendering and AI computing solution as well. But obviously, you can see that Blendr, whereas it is in the AI sector, I would put it really, it's one of those projects that people are going to throw it in the AI bucket. But I think really what they're focusing on is obviously GPU, which is in the DPin narrative. But I do expect Blendr to run with AI. But what they're focusing on, in my opinion, puts them obviously more into the DPin narrative. But I'm bullish on both narratives. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think that AI and DPin are going to perform this cycle, or if you think that they're not, and maybe they're just hype and no product at this time. I understand the stance either way, but let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts. So if you take a look at their developer roadmap, where they're at, again, this just is a couple things. You can pause the video. I don't want to get into all this technical jargon here because I could lose you real fast probably. Again, if you want to, you can get on the website and read it themselves, or follow their Twitter, join their Telegram. Now, if you take a look, again, they have their white paper. A few things to note about Blendr, which, again, take it with a grain of salt because a lot of projects in the AI space, about 90-95% of them, it feels like, in the AI space, do not have doxed teams. So it's not like gaming where we, look at a project and go like, where's the team? And most of them have it. AI, it's just kind of a thing that is in the space. They don't have doxed teams, which reminds me a lot of gaming from the last cycle in its infancy, that a lot of projects didn't have their teams doxed, and everyone was okay with it, which is why I don't think it's a big deal for a lot of these AI projects to not have it, because, again, it didn't affect gaming that much last cycle because the hype was there and the narrative was there and strong, so I wouldn't be overly worried about it. But again, it does increase the risk as well. So if you take a look, this is everything that they have coming in the future. Blendr Chain, Compute Mesh, obviously their Blendr token is already out, which we'll take a look at here in a little bit. But you can go through their pitch deck or their Git book here and take a look at it also. Now, I say the team's not doxed because they don't have it necessarily on their website. Not that I can find, or any LinkedIn links or anything like that we've been used to in the gaming space. But if you look at their Twitter, I think they have this post here and then a video which you can see him a little bit of one of their team members in the photo. Now, they don't necessarily say who this is. It could be anyone. It doesn't look like it's AI generated, but you never know. And that might sound a little tinfoil hat a little bit there, but you never do know. It's one of those things you never really know. But they're, again, just talking about and showing off their Blendr box that we went over as well. And they just show their teammate here, or team member, building the Blendr box in the early infancy stages of it also. But again, if we take a look at their main Twitter, they don't have a whole lot of posts. They only joined earlier this year. Some people follow them, like Crypto Banter. It might be a big account to follow them. Their social media presence is okay. Obviously, if you look at their followers, they have 20,000, so, which is pretty decent. It shows that actually, I could believe that that's actually genuine and not really bot generated or bot followers. Not that it plays a huge part, honestly. A lot of projects buy followers, but for 20,000, I could believe that's, pretty organic following right there. If we look at their coin market cap, now, if you look on Dex Tools, I believe that they do have locked liquidity. Another thing, too, that is worth mentioning is that Blendr does have a 5% sell and a 5% buy tax whenever you buy their tokens as well. So there's going to be a price impact there if you buy their token. Now, again, a lot of AI tokens have that. Again, like stuff like OPSEC, Node AI, Hash AI. A lot of these projects do have that 5% buy and sell tax, and they've performed well anyways. So, again, not that if this was a gaming space, I would say 5% sell and buy tax would not be for me. I wouldn't really get into that project. Even if it was quality, again, just because so many other alternative projects don't have that. But when we're in the AI space and in the GPU, DPin, AI project space, all of them typically are we're seeing that they have the 5% buy and sell tax, and they still perform. So it's not a big concern, whereas, again, I'm not a big fan of that, and it is worth mentioning. I don't see it really as a concern at this moment in time. So if you look at Blendr Network, how it's performed, it did launch earlier this year, so it hasn't been around a whole lot right now. We saw them launch here at about 75 cents. This thing ran up to about over $4, which I believe would put us at, maybe around $180 million in market cap, somewhere around there. If we were guessing, I don't think, yeah, CoinMarketCap's not going to show me that at that time, and I don't think CoinGecko will either, but you can let me know if I'm wrong there. But I think it was around maybe $180 million market cap, just doing the quick math in my head here from where we're at today, because Blendr does set at a $70 million market cap. Now, it says that all of the, for the most part, pretty much all the tokens are in circulation, which is good. That is something that we are seeing, in the AI space, where again, in the gaming space, we're used to low circulating supply and terrible, if not long, vesting schedules. Whereas in the AI space, a lot of the tokens, dilution isn't that big of a deal. Or if you find an AI project that is, definitely take a look at the vesting schedule for sure, because again, it's not as common in the AI space to have a bad circulating supply, quote unquote, just low percentage versus them all being in circulation. So again, not too worried about that. One thing that I do like about Blendr over projects like, again, Hash AI, OPSEC, GPU, and I'm just naming these because they're bigger, quote unquote, titans in the space, in this specific space of, AI, GPU, DPin, narrative. One thing is that a lot of those projects, you'll find that they're really only listed on dexes like Uniswap, whereas Blendr actually has Uniswap, Gate.io, Mexi, Bitmart. So Blendr actually has it as far, they have an advantage on centralized exchanges over most of the other AI projects that are doing this same similar kind of goal that they're trying to achieve here with the GPUs network. So I will give that to Blendr. It shows that the team potentially does have money, that they're well funded. So, and I went to Crypto Rank and I couldn't really find anything about funding rounds. So it's kind of, again, hard to find, but, whereas if this was another narrative, I would say a lot of this is seeming sketchy, but you have to take it with a grain of salt because, in this narrative, AI, GPU, DPin, a lot of these projects are very, very similar. So, again, it is easy to look at Blendr and say, well, it's a nice website, and that's it. But again, with this narrative, I think that we're seeing other projects like Node AI, OPSEC, when AI ran, get to a couple $100 million in market cap, and they were essentially doing the same thing as well. Again, that was earlier this year. Obviously, they've had some product and rollout, and I'm not naming any individual projects like that. Obviously, go do your own research, but I'm just bringing this project to your attention because I do think Blendr does have potential. I do expect it to break all-time highs when AI runs again, and I wouldn't be shocked just off hype alone to see Blendr, 10x from this point. Again, nobody knows where any of these projects are going to go. Obviously, this is AI's first, big bull run, first bull market. So as a hot narrative, so nobody knows. And another thing I'd want to make note, and it might sound funny, but you really do have to think of this from like a retail perspective. I can definitely see people. Not that I think it's going to have a big big impact, but I can see people getting retail or just everyday consumers that haven't been here for a while, that don't really do as much research as you and I, get into the space. I can see people maybe mistakenly hearing about Render and then going to buy it and then accidentally looking at Blendr and buying Blendr either because of the name so similar or because of the market cap being so much lower. They might see a higher return possibility, which could be true, but again, just thought I might make note of that. And again, that could be nothing, but that could be a stretch, but you have to look at it from a newbie's perspective, making those mistakes. It's very possible. I wouldn't write it off. But either way, a lot of things I like about Blendr. Again, they have a nice website. They do have their white paper and documentation out. I like what they're trying to achieve, what they say they will. But, we go look at their Twitter. It does say that, that they are building their render box. I believe if we go far down enough, they did put a video out on it, and I haven't really seen any FUD around the project. I think that, again, that Blendr could be solid. So yeah, they have this video here. So they are showing off a working product. It's just, if you look at the background, it does kind of look like it's just like in a room. Like you would think a project of this scale would maybe have, a bigger operator or operation kind of running, but every project has to start somewhere, I assume. So they could just be testing it, but it does look like they have a working product right now. But we'll see how Blendr, again, really comes to over time. But it is a project I'm currently looking at. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you guys want me to cover more AI, GPU, DPin, narrative-heavy altcoins, because I do think that you should have. It doesn't even have to be Render. Obviously, nothing I say is financial advice, but you should have some exposure to those narratives as what I'm doing myself, because again, I do believe that those are going to be hot narratives alongside gaming. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of projects like this. Let me know what you think of see, there it is. Let me know what you think of Blendr Network, and if there's other projects in the space you want me to cover, comment them below and I will try to do so. Otherwise, if you guys got value out of this video, if you guys can like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright, see you guys.